Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Tuesday the 30th of May. I've got the tables in front of us. It's actually a full board today. We've got the dollar remaining the strongest currency at the moment, and that is quite evident in the market from the past couple of weeks. We started to see that dollar strength coming onto our tables for a while now, and it's remained sort of in that S1 position for a couple of weeks. So I'm expecting that dollar strength to continue. We're just going to have a little look to see potentially if there's going to be some pullbacks. Now, the full board is suggesting that there's multiple currency pairs that we could be watching. You could be watching the New Zealand US dollar. You could be watching the New Zealand against the Canadian dollar. You could be watching the pound against the New Zealand as well. And you could be looking at stuff like the dollar yen, euro, US dollar, euro pound as well. It could be an interesting pair to have a little look at. I'm actually going to have a look at that in this video today. We also have euro CAD, which is featured at the bottom here of the day traders table, and the CAD yen. Now, CAD yen is really interesting to me. Before I was doing the video, I was actually setting up a long position on CAD yen, and there's a couple of long positions that I think we could actually take. So the main focus is going to be CAD yen, and then I'm going to take a look at a couple of euro pairs because they're quite interesting as well in terms of potential setup. So CAD yen, why am I focusing on CAD yen? It's featured here. It has confluence. Now, the reason why we like to look at these type of moves is because when we see it appear as green on the trend traders and the day traders, it means that there is momentum on the lower time frame, and then we have momentum with our higher time frame. So I'm looking to see if CAD yen would move higher. Now, I've taken an initial long position just above this candlestick high here. My stop losses are trailing below this zone in here, and my target's up at the 104.50 handle. Now, before I dive into that position, I'm going to just expand this chart out a second, and I'm just going to show you why I'm looking to target what I'm looking to target. So what we've seen recently for the price of CAD yen is that we've traded above the 200 daily moving average here. Let me just zoom in slightly so you can see that a little bit better. We've traded above that 200 moving average, above the 102 zone. We've consolidated in here, and then we had a breakout. So that breakout is telling me that buyers are wanting to push prices to the upside here. The next level for price to target is around about this 104.50. You can see all these lows that formed back in November of 2022 in and around. So it was actually a bit of a consolidation, but those were the lows of the consolidation, and that's what I'm looking to target on a CAD yen move to the upside here. So 104.50 seems to be the targets. Now, I was on the hourly time frame. I was just looking at the chart because the tables were showing me CAD yen was one to watch, so I came to my charts. I had a little look at the daily structure. I had a little look at the 4-hour structure as well, where you can see price has broken and retested these 4-hour high zones in here, and I was interested to see just how price would set up. So I've actually taken a long position at 103.35. Stops are below the zone here at 102.80, and I'm looking to see if price will come up to the 104.50. So in terms of reward to risk, if I just put the cursor on the 103.35 and we come down to the 102.80s, you can see I've got around a 55 pip stop loss, and I'm looking to target 115 pips there. So that's just above the 2-to-1 ratio there, being 115 pips. So I'm looking to see if price can complete that. I think a secondary option we could be looking for is actually a breakout of these highs. Now, breakouts are a little bit more tricky because what I don't want you to be involved in is in a false breakout. So I don't want price to break the high and then come back down here, because then obviously that would be sort of a pointless operation there. What I would wait for is a very similar thing to what's happened here, where we've broken out, price has then consolidated, and then potential there's a breakout again. So can we break out, consolidate? Can we retest lows? Can we then look for longs? Because what that does, it allows you to have a area where you can place a safe stop loss. At the moment, if we were to buy stop at 103, let's say 63, or even 62 above that high, our stop loss goes at the 102.87, just below this area here. So that gives us a 75 pip stop loss, and then we've only got 87 pip target there. So not as good as getting long just above this candle here. So what we could even do is set up a buy limit order. So if you set up a buy limit order at 103.35, because what that will do is, if price closed like this, let's say on the hour, at 11 a.m. If price then comes back down, retests, and then continues to push higher, will be triggered into the market move here, just as if you were to put a buy stop order above that candlestick anyway. Okay, so if we were to put an order, let's say 103.35, just to get us in there, and then a stop loss down at the 102.80, then we can target that area up at the 104.50 handle. Now, another option that we had, or an opportunity that I saw was developing, was potentially on euro pound. So if I go down to euro pound, why am I interested in euro pound? Well, if I bring back, let's just bring in our tables again. Euro pound is actually a chart I haven't looked at in a good while, and it's because price has been consolidating. So euro pound, we can see, is featured here. We've got euro as W3 on the day traders and the trend traders. We've got pound as S2 on the day traders, S3 on the trend traders. So it's telling us that euro pound could potentially trade to the downside here, and you can see we've got this kind of consolidation forming in here below the 0.8725 lows, which were these lows of this kind of squeeze pattern that formed. Now, if that consolidation breaks to the downside, I think there's a good opportunity for price to trade all the way down to the 0.8550, which were the lows back in November and December of 2022. So I'm actually looking for a short here. I'm on the 4-hour time frame though, and we're still around support. So what I mean by that is, you can see this kind of spike low in here. We're still around that area. What I'd want to see is price trade out of that, come back in, and then give us our short trading opportunity. Now I've put in a line here. It's around about the 0.8660 handle. So I'm looking to see if price will maybe pull back into that area there before giving us an opportunity. But I want to see the breakout first. I want to see sellers drive price to the downside. Alternatively, if they don't, I would only be looking to short if price came back up towards the area highs here, around about that 0.8715 to 0.8725 again. So if it did something like this instead, that's when I'd be interested, as long as it remained on the tables, of course. So that's another one of interest. I do want to quickly try and fit in one more, which is potentially a short on EuroCAD. Again, this is a market really interesting. If we take a look at this daily chart, we can see that I've got some trend lines down through here from the lows that formed all the way back in September of 2022, and we've recently traded outside of that. So price has broken through that trend line, or broken down through that trend line support, came back up and retested alongside this horizontal resistance turned or support turned resistance at the 1.4650, and we're driving lower at the moment. So at the moment, at lows, I want to see again if price can trade through that. Does that then open the door for us to trade down to the 1.4250 handle? Okay, so just to kind of recap, EuroCAD looking good. I like the idea of euro pound trading outside of this level. If it can continue to push down, that is great. We are looking at a potential long opportunity on CAD yen if it can pull back a little bit into this 103.34 handle for a long. We could also take a look at dollar yen as well. I do like dollar yen because price is still heading towards the 142 handle, so that's also an option as well. But I think out of them all, CAD yen is the one presenting us with a potential opportunity right now. So hopefully that all made sense, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next video.